Thank you once again for keeping it locked on Wells Radio, reaching you from the ancient city of Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria, West Africa. You enter the program Meet the Press, one of the flagship programs we have on Wells Radio, where we call in notable Nigerians, people are doing something worthwhile, and people who have something to offer to the society and in their respective fields of endeavor. And today we have a woman doing something that you will ask yourself, why is she on this terrain? Why is she doing what she's doing? But she's adding value to a lot of things. She's shaping lives and making the people that society look down upon, is making them is handling a lot of things in the lives of these individuals that the society look down upon. And this afternoon we are going to have a conversation with this great woman doing great things for humanity. And on Meet the Press today, reaching you from Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We are here in Oluyole Estate, Alaafin Avenue. I'll be right back after this time out. It's glad to know that you are still on the hook to Wells Radio 89.3 FM. You are dialing station number one family station in the whole of Oyo State and even beyond. And I keep saying it that when it comes to family issues, we are always at the forefront, because family make up the society. Without the family, you won't have society. And what we are looking at this morning has to do with families. And I'm not alone on the Meet the Press. I have my colleagues here. And my producer, Chief Yomi Davis, is around here also. I have Afolabi here with me on the table. You're welcome, Afolabi.
Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, your state. And here again.
And Dayo Ogunshaki is here. Dayo is not looking as if he's going to party today. I will find out later.
Good afternoon, Nigeria. Good afternoon, Oyo State. Good afternoon, Ibadan and Oluyole.
Okay, I think we have to start. I don't know whether my chief producer will join us on the conversation this afternoon. Okay. He will come in and go out. But he's in the Blue Studio this afternoon. And the person we are talking about this afternoon is Olufunke Adeloye. And she's Chief Responsibility Officer. Just mark the title. Mm-hmm. Chief Responsibility Officer. Oak Consult. What is Oak Consult? Is a disabilities outreach. They reach out to people who have one disability or the other, and in our society, when you are a little bit disabled, the society has this tendency to leave you behind and move on. But this is not happening. This woman is looking into the lives of the disabled, and she has taken it upon herself to put a smile on their faces and make them know that there is ability in disability. So Olufunke Adeloye is going to connect with us this afternoon from Obomosho, where she's doing something great for this her pet project, this afternoon. And I want to call, I know that Olufunke Adeloye is out there. If you're out there, can we connect with you, ma? Hello? Is going to connect with us just in a jiffy. Just keep it locked on West Radio, reaching you from Oluyole Estate, Alaafin Avenue. This woman we are talking about he has engaged a lot of people on this pet project, and she's a great advocate for inclusion. A great advocate for inclusion, and I believe families are going to tune in this afternoon to understand that, look, God created all of us in his own image. If there is anything that has to do with disability, it is not the will of God, and it does not mean that a person has ceased to be a human being. No, there is ability in disability. I will be right back after this. yes, thank you once again for keeping it locked on Wells Radio 89.3 FM, number one family radio in the whole of Oyo State and even beyond. We have Olufunke Adeloye, Chief Responsibility Officer, O Consult Disabilities Outreach, on the line right now. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
We are well. We are well. How about the children you are taking care of? Okay. You are on this afternoon, and we want to ask you, Olufunke Adeloye, how did you come about this title, Chief Responsibility Officer, O Consult Disabilities Outreach? Why not CEO? Why not Chief Executive Officer? And why not Director and General? Why did you choose to be a Chief Responsibility Officer, O Consult Disabilities Outreach? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
I can hear you well. Hello? Okay. It will connect us back. Oh, yes, thank you once again, Olufunke Adeloye. You had my question.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Why did you come up with that this title, Chief Responsibility Officer, instead of Director General of O Consult Disabilities Outreach?
Anyway, I was saying, all right, thank you for the question. I tell you, because largely I see that the story behind the organization is not something that I could have written.
Okay.
So I realized that I don't even have the audacity to say I could call myself a founder.
Okay.
I believe the organization has been God ordained. The story is such that, we just have different twists to it that nobody knows where it's coming from or where it's ending.
Okay.
So I decided to leave that title and just take up my responsibility and run with it.
Okay.
So that's where that is coming from. So God is the author of the organization, and
Okay.
He's the one that would be responsible for the name founder or
Okay.
CEO or any other thing you can think of.
Okay.
But He has given us a responsibility, and we just want to show up and do it.
Okay, so the position is God ordained.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I see that, I would rather take, just see myself as the responsibility officer
Okay.
and leave the role of the founder and the author,
Okay.
the author and the finisher of the thing.
Okay. Olufunke, let me ask you this question. I have my colleagues here with me. Afolabi is here, and I have Dayo Ogunshaki here also. But let me fire the first shot. No, the second shot. Children with disabilities. How do you hope to make them thrive and achieve their full potentials in a society that looks down on people with any form of disability? How do you hope to prove this true?
Well, it's one day at a time, one step after the other. That is how we will begin to change, and change the story and change the narratives around. I think the first thing is what you're doing. For example, what WISE radio is offering right now, which I've also experienced about 2 weeks ago with you, in terms of giving the platform
Okay.
for us to have an open conversation, an open discussion about these issues.
Okay.
So when we begin to raise awareness, and we have other media houses as well that are trying to do the same. When we begin to all raise awareness and sensitize the population about what the potentials could be in the life of a child who they might have one disability or the other. It's not a cliche when we say there is ability in disability. So when we begin to orientate ourselves that way, and we begin to demonstrate it through love and care, through nurture, we will begin to change that story one step after the other. It might not be something we will be able to achieve immediately, or in a just like a whim or a dream or whatever. No, but through our active and consistent work and demonstration to families, and to our society, we'll begin to change. We'll begin to change the narrative one by one.
Thank you very much. My colleague here, Afolabi, has something for you.
Yes, good afternoon, madam.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Good to have you on this program. Wonderfully done work you've been doing there. It's a great job that people hardly want to venture into. Understanding that you're working with people that you may be having some difficulties to to work with in terms of making them to do that you really want them to do at a particular time, because you will need a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, and a lot of love in you to be able to carry this out. Before now, who is Olufunke Adeloye? What actually inspired you to venture into these projects?
Okay, how long have you got? Okay, so I think should I quickly answer the first one you said first?
Yes.
About how do we make them I get you right, but how do we make children with disabilities to do what they need them to do? Did I get that question right?
No, I'm asking that before taking this project as a venture, who is Olufunke Adeloye?
Okay, Olufunke Adeloye. Okay,
and then
I mean, my background was in human resources. My background was in human resources. I'd worked across telecoms, across consulting. I think my first experience was in the corporate world, and I've worked in the consultancy industry. I've worked across telecoms, across the banking sector. I worked in education a little bit, at the university just for a while. And then that was how I started my career. And I was, just having my young family. Life was really pretty good ahead of us, quote and unquote. And I was just trying to live as a young couple with lots of dreams ahead. Before the incidents that happened to us 15 years ago happened, and everything changed about life the way we knew it. So we had to start to learn life afresh, and we had to develop a new normal to everything that we had done before. But yeah, so before we were just a content family, uprising, eyes on the ladder, on the career ladder, and just living our lives that we can imagine as a young family would be.
Hello, Funke. Hello, Funke. Hello.
Hello,
Yeah, will you want to share that experience with us? The experience of 15 years ago.
Okay, what happened 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Basically, I mean. Sorry?
Yeah, go ahead.
We are listening.
Right. Basically, we, like I said, we were in Nigeria. We were just 6 years in marriage at that time. And we had 3 children. As at then, we got married in 2004. And our first child was 5 years. The middle one was 3. And we have the youngest one, all girls. The youngest one was 18 months old. And suddenly, on that fateful day, 11th of April 2010, she was a Sunday. She literally just was crying, and from nowhere she slipped. She just turned very rigid and was foaming in her mouth. We didn't know what it was until we got to the hospital, and we were told that was convulsion. So, well, they tried to set that down, to get her out of that, with something that was not, well, they told us that we could have used the medication that was supposed to be a pediatric one. They didn't have that, though, so they used an adult one, which they also are titrated. Whatever went wrong, we didn't know, but that was it. My daughter didn't come back from that. At 18 months of age was when that happened. By the second day, we were told she had slipped into coma. We moved her into another hospital and in coma for about 1.5 weeks, right? So by the time she came round out of that, then we just didn't recognize the kind of child we were seeing anymore. By the time we wanted to get more medical attention for her, so we flew her out of the country, only to get there and we were told she had been brain damaged. Walking it back from there, they said to us they could walk it back and tell us exactly what happened at the point, or what didn't happen, or what it was, but that it would just be for information purposes. But for them, it was literally just forget the kind of child you had before. But I know that within these 2-3 weeks, the life of your child has changed now. Literally, that was how we started. So eventually, we got to realize, okay, so she was given a diagnosis under cerebral palsy, which she was on the highest level of that, level 5. She was a child that, if I break it down in, and I don't use jargons, if I break it down, she was not able to do anything for herself, literally. She was fully dependent on an adult for her care 24/7. Eventually, that developed into her not being able to feed through the mouth. She was dependent on oxygen support 24/7. She had scoliosis, which is, the curvature of her spine. She had epilepsy, she had seizures, she had absences, and so many things, as a child. So she lived with that for 14 years, effectively, before she passed away, before she died in October last year. So the journey since that 2010 up until October last year, when she died on the 3rd of October, is what, in 2021, actually, before we got to last year, in 2021, the journey up until then, dovetailed into the founding of Oak Consult Disabilities Outreach, which was effectively to begin to support other families and to begin to talk about the reality and what life is behind the scenes for children, for families who are within the disability community. So that is what we have been doing in 2021. And then when she passed, of course, last year, he was now trying to move into the next phase of the organization, which is what we're doing now.
Sorry about that.
Okay. Okay, sir, do you have any question for her?
I think let's...
Okay, Dayo, let's hear from you.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
I said good afternoon, ma'am. Once again.
Thank you.
Can you hear me now? Yes. Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Yes. From the story that you just told us now, personally, I used to believe. Let me conclude. I used to believe that people with disabilities should not be addressed as people with disabilities. That they should be addressed as people with special abilities. But from your story now, I am beginning to see the difference between the two. Please, can you shed more light on the difference or differences between people with disabilities and people with special abilities? Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, I think there might be a bit of a myth around how we look at people with disability, children, young people, or anybody with disability. When we build some specialties that are not, when we don't normalize their lives, as it were, they will continue to create a bigger gap. For example, some people will call them angels. They are not angels, right? Some people will call them special people. They are not special people. They are people first. They are people, right? Different. They have different abilities, right? And we should see them that way. They have different abilities. They have different, whether disability or learning difficulty or whatever it's for. It might be that it's different from the typical things that we know. I think when we associate people with disabilities with other things that are not what they are, at times it makes them to be. We look at them like as objects rather than people. And it's part of what we need to educate ourselves on. They might have, you have children that have special abilities. Yeah. For example, I know of a friend of mine who has 2 children with autism, and one of them, if you tell her a date, for example, whatever date you will see, even if it's in 17th century or 15th century, just tell her a particular date, and then she will tell you the day and the year and everything it was. Oh, that was a Tuesday. Oh, that was and whatever no matter how backdated you made it, she will just tell you straight up. Some of them are, they have different things, they have different abilities, but they are not special. They are just different. And that is in celebrating the differences that we have, that we will begin to see them. And that's what we talk about, inclusion. That's why we say we need to have a society that is more inclusive in the way we look at it, in the way we design our schools, our curriculums, our health facilities, and our societies, our different buildings, our different things within the society. It's not that they are special. They are different. And it's in celebrating the differences that we all have, in terms of, you can do something better. And we see this. When we try to normalize things a little bit, maybe we can begin to demystify some of these things. That is what it is. So if we can understand that they are human beings, first of all. They are human. They're like us. We are human beings. Everybody on the face, as long as you have breath in your nostrils, you are a human being. First of all, every other thing that we can define you with, or that we can describe about you, then we can begin to unpick it from there. I don't have a disability as it were, but I can't do everything. There are some things I'm not good at.
Okay.
There are some other people who might be better at some other things but there are some areas that what happens again for people with disabilities is that the society puts more attention on those things that they are not able to do. And again, with this, we're not empowering them by enabling whatever it is that is the difficulty that they might have. So if somebody, for example, in the West, if somebody is not able to drive and you create a car that that is suitable for their own kind of limitations, that can, and then they're able to drive, then it takes away that difference that you might have. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's not so much so about the special or angel or they are Ponda, all those things that we say, but there are people say they just use different names for them, which are not necessary.
Okay. Thank you very much, Olufunke. You must be a woman with a very large heart.
Yes.
But I want to ask you, what are the mechanisms that you want to use to confront traditional? Because you mentioned society when you were talking. What are the mechanisms you want to use to confront traditional and cultural perspectives of our society on people with disabilities? Because they look at them condescendingly, you understand, and it was not going to help them in having a normal self-esteem. How do you hope to change the narrative of the society that is, we look at them through cultural and traditional perspectives, that they are not actually people, to be associated within a society. And you are saying right now that you are championing their cause, and you are making inroads into making society to believe that, look, all of us are human first and foremost. How do you hope to change this?
Like I said earlier,
Yes.
education
Okay.
is one of the things that we will begin to do.
Okay.
Awareness
Okay.
as well, like we're doing right now.
Okay, hold on.
Is another thing. Encouraging parents. I've been in some meetings today where
Okay.
I've been talking to some parents,
Okay.
you know, who have children and young people with disabilities. And one of the things, you know, I emphasize for them
Okay.
is the fact that you're not alone.
Okay.
Right? And there is absolutely no need to be ashamed.
Okay.
One of them asked me today, she in tears, she said, is there anything that she as a mother has done that caused this for her child? Because immediately this happened to the child, the father just went away. That is it the fault of the woman? She was saying this in tears. And I said to her, absolutely no. There is nothing that you have done or you have not done that will make that will inflict this on your child, right? So when we are getting information out this way, you know, tackling. So for us as an organization, that is what we have been doing is tackling this issue right from the home.
Okay.
Right from, and so we're meeting. We started with one family after the other. Of course, you know, you think, oh wow, that's a long stretch, right? But it's something.
Okay.
If I am proud, as I am proud, if I sit you down and I began to talk to you about my daughter Abigail, who have passed, and I tell you the kind of life she lived, you would love to see her. It's just that you cannot see her on this side of eternity any longer. But I can begin to talk to you about her from now till thy kingdom, and I'm still telling you different areas of her life. How beautiful she was, how lovely, how cheeky, how lovely, you know, with her smile, with her demeanor, with her attitude, everything about her, how he was just totally different and beautiful. How she made you appreciate life, how she was resilient, how she would smile in the face of pain and all those things. And I began to tell you, so if I am so, and so we were proud as a family, we will take her anywhere.
Okay.
It's your problem if you don't understand, if you look at me different, if you look at me funny, I will just smile at you and I just walk away.
Okay.
And if you ask for information, I will give you. But if you want to talk to my daughter and treat her differently, I will stand up to you like a tigress because I will not allow it. Okay? So if I'm empowered and I continue to empower other parents like that, and I tell you that I have a space, this child has a space either in school or in the hospital or in church or in the mosque. She has a space, and you will both give her that space. So if I continue to advocate for my child like that, if another parent also decides to advocate for their own child like that, whether we like it or not, the society will begin to pay attention, and we're getting there gradually.
Okay.
But if, you know, and if parents do not understand that they don't need to hide their children away, they don't need to go and abandon them somewhere. You know, if everybody begins to be as proud of their children who are typical children as their neurodivergent children who has one disability or learning difficulty or the other, if we begin to celebrate them, whether you like it or not, the society will pay attention.
Okay.
That's one of the strategies that we have, and that's why our focus is on parent carers. Our other arm is to go to our churches particularly, because I'm of the Christian faith, and that is what I know, and that's what I've proven. Even though if you call me to come to the mosque, I will come. If you call me to come to the shrine, I will come. But you need to know that what I'm telling you is coming from my own belief and my faith in terms of how God created every child and He made every man in His own image. So we're giving this information. We trained over 200 men of God right now all over the country, so that we're training them right from the seminary where they're being trained as men of God, where they're looking into the Bible as well to emphasize and to establish the way God sees everybody, you know, that He has made. If you look into the book of Exodus, there was a place there when Moses was saying, when God was talking to Moses, and he said, and God said to him, he will go and speak to Pharaoh, and he said, no, I stutter and I stammer. I cannot go. I'm not of good speech. That's what we call speech impairment, right? In our own days. But God said, who made the mouth? Who made somebody deaf and who made somebody blind? Is it not I, the Lord? So if God is taking responsibility for making each one of us that way, who are we as human beings to begin to discriminate? So we're coming from there and saying God did not say, okay, Moses, I will stop your stuttering, I will stop you from stammering. He didn't do that. All he then said was, okay, don't worry, I'll give you somebody. He has the power to do so. But for whatever reason, he chose not to. And he said, okay, I'll give you Aaron. If you not listen to me, I'll give you Aaron to go and be your mouthpiece. So you will speak to him. And he didn't take that stuttering and that stammering away at that point. He didn't. He just gave him something to do with it. So we also need to begin to, the question to me is, how are we going to change that? This is the way. We are a religious society. But so if everybody begins to hear this, and we're training ourselves and we're talking about it right from the pulpit, we're telling everybody about this and telling everybody the way God sees everyone with disabilities, we will begin to make these changes. And in demonstrating that is why we want to have Hope Center Plan, which we're launching, which we're having a groundbreaking in Olo. We want to have a center that we will be able to demonstrate what we're talking about. We'll be able to have children in there who have disabilities, and we will be able to bring them up in the nurture and care that God require, with the kind of quality of life that they could have. Whether that life is short or long, that's not the question. It's about the value that you put on that life when they're still living.
Okay.
So those are the things that we want to do, and we trust that. And it's not basically, we also have other people who are doing this in their own little way already. So it's about celebrating and having this collaboration with everybody, and we're doing it in a structured way that will begin to change our society. It might look like a long shot, but indeed it will come, and it will still come. We just need to start.
Okay. Thank you very much, Olufunke. Afolabi has a question for you, because we are coming back to that center at Olo.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, we are coming back to that center because we want to know what is going on at that center, and your community engagement. That very place, we are coming back there. But
Yes,
Afolabi,
how did she?
yes, how did you get that center?
Center.
Yes.
Good.
You know,
Good
How
to
did we get the center?
we are coming back to it, but we are coming back on everything that has to do with the center, because the Nigerians must know about the center. Okay, Afolabi.
your story has actually touched me as a father and a citizen of this country. Now I understand why you call yourself the chief responsibility officer and not the CEO. You know, to have adopted that responsibility, that title. I want to say God bless you, ma, for that our initiative and the wisdom from God that you have taken upon yourself. When you talk about, when my colleague here asked the question, ability, those who are special, and those who are the special ones and the most talented, because in this form of disability people, we have some who are very talented, who could do so many things even when they are they are seen to be disabled, and that is what we call them able disabled. The word we use, able disabled, because they are able but still they are still disabled. Well, your kind of story is so touching that it shows the kind of person you are. It projects you, and then also encourage other mothers and especially parents. You know, when you talk about visiting some women whose children are in this form, and their father has left, is also a way to reach out to parents, especially men, the fathers, who could see it as an escape route to run away. I want to say kudos to you, man. God bless you. Now, when you in your pursuit, have you ever gotten any external or internal support in the area of running this project? Because I know the project started from God. God has a reason for kicking up this project, which you have been the chief responsibility officer. Is there anybody supporting in this cause?
Well, we don't have a steady, no, that's not the right way. So we have funders for different things that we have done. Now, the organization is registered as a charity in the UK and also registered in the charity here in Nigeria. So there's being run independently, even though what we're doing is along the same line. However, the way we're displaying it is different. For example, in the UK, because you already have facilities for children, you already have facilities for that, you already have provisions across the education, health, and social care that we're looking at. So that there was no need for us to be doing that at all in the UK. So we're not working with children in the UK at all. We work directly with parent carers in the UK, and as a result, we have some funders for some of the projects that we have done. For example, we developed a program, if you look at it as a course, it's a 10-week program for parent carers, specifically for parent carers, cutting across 6 areas of life that affects the life of a carer. So you're talking of the career, you're talking of finances, you're talking of faith, your physical well-being, your mental well-being as well. You're talking about your finances as well as a parent carer. So we've developed 6 areas. We developed a program, a 10-week program that parents commit to and they will do, and we've been running that in the UK as well. And it's been wonderful in terms of building a community and making a change. So we got funding to do that, to develop the course and to run it. So we got that. Now, coming to Nigeria, what we have been doing is to establish our relationship with other organizations that are already working in those areas, and we have been supporting, some schools, some homes, and we raise funds. We make the case, we showcase what the school needs, we showcase what the homes need, we raise funds for them. For some in Lagos, and we've been working across the different states of different states within the Southwest. So in Lagos, Oyo, Kwara State, we even extended to that to the Kwara State, to Kwara State. So we got some of these schools and what we could support them with. We ship things down and all, and we raise funds among friends and families, who just support the initiative and they support the cause that we're running, and that's how we have been running thus far. Now, where we are now, it's now a stage where we need everybody. We need every hand on deck. It's not as though we have a stashed money somewhere at all that we're going to build this center, but this will come from individuals, from philanthropists in the country, we're trusting for corporate involvement, we're hoping for government involvement as well. And the reception we have had thus far for this month, since we have been talking about the groundbreaking, has been encouraging. And so we're expecting our royal fathers, we're expecting representatives from the state, because this, I think, is just coming out and everybody is understanding the need for it. So the kind of reception that we have received continues to encourage us. And again, above all, I say that God always pays for whatever he orders. So I believe that the Oak Center Prime initiative is God ordained, and he will fund it however he wants to fund it. Okay. But he will always look at the Bible, which is always my reference point. When God wants to build a project, when he commissions a project, he will always bring people that will support the project. And at the end of the day, they will bring more than enough things that they will even be telling them, no, that this is enough. It's enough for the work that we need to do. And that is the model, because God is the same yesterday, today, and forever. Now, this is what they call community projects.
Okay.
And whether we like it or not, we can continue to say, oh, Nigeria is bad, but in this country, we still have good people. We still have people who have a good heart towards things like this, and we're all seeing the need for it. So I believe that everybody will come on board to ensure that we have Oak Center Prime established and run in the way that will bring, blessings to families and will make a difference, not just in Ola or in Ogbomoso, in Oyo State alone, but in Nigeria and actually in Africa as it were. I get shy of saying this, the kind of model that we have is actually maybe, if not the first of that kind in sub-Saharan Africa, the kind of model that we want to run in, at this center. And I believe that, this is what will happen, that we will put this together across education, health, and social care, and also have facilities for parents to be able to do, the training and the enlightenment that I've been talking about, so that we can begin to make a change around the narrative regarding families that treating children with disabilities.
Yeah.
So that is how we want to run, and well, everybody's. We believe everybody will come on board.
Okay.
Okay, Funke, now, do you have any special relationship with Methodist Church?
Sorry.
I said, do you have any relationship with the Methodist Church, Nigeria?
Okay. Yes. Well, not just with the Methodist Church, but with Methodist Church and with the Baptist Seminary in Ogbomoso. And that was because the training that I talked to you about, that we have been training men of God all over, that we've been training from the seminaries. It was actually the Baptist Seminary that was, that initially opened up to us to train the clergy, around 2022. Which was the first time when we introduced the program, when we introduced the course. The course is called Beyond Suffering, a Christian perspective to the issues of disability, right? And the textbook is the Bible. So we met the clergy, we met the men of God where they are in terms of, this is the Bible. Open your Bible to so, and see what the Lord has said, what the Bible says about this, so that we can establish it. And the other avenue that has opened to us again, that I accepted this, is the Methodist the Methodist as well, who has also opened up the seminary to us, and we're training. We have been training. I think we've had 2 or 3 sets now that we have also trained on the issues of disability and inclusion. And these 2 institutions have really opened up and have recorded so many, changes that are coming in, and we're having the conversations. And so at times you might think, oh, nothing is happening, but this is how God works. It starts from small, and then it becomes big at the end of the day. So if all our men, the men of God that we have trained thus far, by the time they go into different churches and they begin to lead these churches, at least they've heard about it right from where they're being trained. And we believe that that's how the other awareness will begin to come in and penetrate. We pray and hope that other churches as well will begin to open up for us, as we progress on this. And because what we're saying, like I said, is established in the scriptures, and we see that it's not actually doing them a favor. When we are not doing it, what it means is that we're not actually obeying what the Bible says. Because what the Bible says is that we should all go into the streets, into the alleys. In Luke 14, go into the streets, into the alleys, and bring them. He says, compel them to come in, the blind, the lame, those that are on the street. Compel them so that they can bring them in, and that my house can be full. So my questions to the men of God around me that I see all the time is, how full is the house of God under your watch? If you're not doing, if we come into your church and we don't see anyone with disability, it means that God is saying his house is not full under your watch. That is the significance of what we're talking about. So it's not that it's just a cliche, it's a good to have. It's not a good to have. When we're not doing it, we're not being obedient to the scripture. That's what it is. So that is the angle I think we're coming at this, which we're establishing the scriptures. So that is the relationship that has come up with us, and we're just so blessed by our relationship with the Baptists and our relationship with the Methodist Church at the moment.
Okay, thank you very much. Dayo has something for you here. Dayo, go ahead with your question.
Mrs. Olufunke Adeloye, thank you for what you're doing. Yeah, I know a young couple who newly got married, and they had their first baby, and the baby came out with autism. So when the autism, okay. Yeah. So when the baby came around, it was a very challenge for them, and the outcome of it was that the husband, left the wife with the baby. He left, and he left the woman alone with the baby. And the baby, even up to now, that is the only child that the lady has till now. Because I know her. And, she has been taking good care of that baby. So why did I bring out the news now? Is that, the story now, rather, is that in your advocacy, are you looking towards educating newlywed couples so that they will be able to. There will be no. It will reduce a diverse, because that's a form of diverse. That if the outcome of their copulation come out, even they have, because we can have anything, any baby, and these people, it has been established that they are gifts. They are human beings like us, and they are gifts from God. So it's your advocate looking in the direction of educating couples to prepare for such challenges.
And then let me add to that. Are you thinking of extending your advocacy, beyond just taking care of the disabled or children? And
Sorry.
I said, are you taking your advocacy beyond just taking care of the disabled? I mean, are you taking that advocacy? And like he said, looking at how to now educate people generally, especially young couples, on issues like this. That if you come across or you happen to have children that grow up, that have disabilities, they don't have. I mean, they need to manage instead of separating.
Well, thank you for your question, sir. To start off with, I would say that, I think most of the time we say that the men are the ones that lead, right, when this happens. Like, for example, you said the father left. Well, unfortunately, even at times you see situations where it's even the mother that will leave the child and go away. And they have seen that, we've seen that as well. So it's really on both sides, even though it looks like, we have more fathers that will leave rather than the female, that the mother's leaving. That injunction in the Bible, that Bible asks that, and the mother forget her suckling. And it says, even if they do, they will not. But God knows what he was asking, because when in the issues of disability, actually the mothers can forget their suckling, because it is that tough. It is a tough terrain. It is a difficult terrain. And I think one of the things that, while we have not particularly carved, because you can only do so much, especially when you're prioritizing things, in terms of, okay, the people that need that need to know now, are people that already have children with disability, and it's not everybody that will fall into that category.
No.
So even for newlyweds and all that, it would not be a priority for us at this stage, that, to include that in. Even though, the churches, again, I go back to our churches where we hold marriage counseling. This is something they can consider throwing in to say, when you're saying for better, for worse, is actually at times real in terms of the difficulties and the challenging. It's not the one that you get in. I've been blessed by a man that I always describe as very rare man, one of the rare ones. I'm blessed to have one of the rare ones in my life who decided to stay and didn't run away, and decided to just carry his family as a responsibility. And so I'm so blessed, in that way. And that has made a lot of difference for me as well, and even for us as a family, And we have other men as well like that we can point at. And, the joy of it will be for those kind of men to begin to come out and talk and say that, what made you stay? Right? What made you stay? Why didn't you go away like other people would do? And and that's where we have mentors. That's where we have people that are disciples. That's where we have people who would, handhold other people along the way. And that we'll get into all that as we go. But at the moment, our priorities are the people that are already there, who have these children right now, and who are being faced, with the challenges, with the stereotypes and the cultural biases that we have, and with all the wrong narratives of saying, is it that your sin is too much, or somebody is chasing you from the family, or whatever, you need to take this, and they're moving from one Oreo to the other, moving from one deliverance to the other, and being advised to wrongly go and dump the child, throw the child into something. All sorts of things. It's heart-wrenching what you hear, about what's going on in this terrain. And even in terms of divorce, the rate is 78% higher when you have a child with disability. So it's a difficult talk, and we see this a lot. This is why, from my own experience, it is the word of God that I see that is potential, that has the potential, that is potent enough to keep a home together when they are facing the challenges of disability. I define the disability terrain as I see it as a giant. Right? That
Okay.
you know how David and Goliath, I see it as a giant like a Goliath, and David used the stones, once the stone he used to kill Goliath. I say the stone for me are the words of God. That is the only place that I have found so far. And honestly, I found people and I've related, and I'm still relating with people with faith, with some without no faith, some with the Christian faith, some Muslim faith, and every diverse, and some that they don't have faith. I've even heard people that will tell me, okay, I would rather believe in witchcraft than in your God that you say is a God of love and is allowing the children to suffer like this, right? And I understand where that is coming from, but it doesn't change the truth of the word of God. And when you confront disability with the word of God, it changes the dynamics because you see it differently. You begin to see it as what the Bible says is a light affliction.
Oh, sorry. We'll connect back to her again. Let's keep it locked on West Radio.
Jesus Christ, the one who died and is risen, has borne our sin through sacrifice. On Sunday, April 20, it will be a special Easter edition of your Sunday afternoon spiritual tonic, Hope and Restoration, on West Radio 89.3 FM with Dr. Stephen Olakunle Oyedele, the Regional Overseer of Mountain and Fire and Miracle Ministries, Southwest 26, as our special guest. Join us as we discuss the topic, Christ is Risen, focusing on redemption. It's an edition of Hope and Restoration with your regular host, Evangelist Mrs. Lillian Bademosi, and her team, playing host to Dr. Stephen Oyedele this Sunday, April 20, Easter Sunday, on the number 1 family radio in Ibadan, West Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred radio for wholesome content.
Christ is risen, he's risen indeed.
Boost your business with Wells Radio 89.3 FM. In a competitive world of business, strategic brand and product positioning is key to growth. Don't remain unseen in the shadows. Shine a spotlight on your brand with Wells Radio 89.3 FM today. Why Wells Radio? We are your state's #1 family radio station. We connect with the heart of families in your state. As the smallest unit of the society, families trust Wells Radio for quality content and information. Visit us today along Alafin Avenue, Oluyole Estate, Ibadan. Our white and blue building just before Sharp Corner ensures your business won't go unnoticed. Advertise with us today. Call our marketing office on 0903 936 8185. Call Toby on 0803 509 3395. 080-3272-1094. Yomi on 0706-616-5053. Take the leap today. Let Wells Radio 89.3 FM be the megaphone for your business success. You won't regret it.
Yo, what's up?
Baby, let's go. 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Okay. Thank you once again for keeping it locked on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. We are still on Meet the Press, and we are talking with Olufunke Adeloye, Chief Responsibility Officer, Oak Consult Disabilities Outreach, Oak Center Prime. This is the woman who has taken it upon herself to put smiles on the faces of those that the society look down upon. And she has been talking with us on her role in helping, in trying to change the narratives of how we see people who have a little bit of disability, and that God created all of us in his own image. And he said something that struck me, that even Moses, a stammerer, told God, I can't go because I stutter. And God didn't take that stuttering from him. He still sent him on errand. So whatever you are very, very important to God. And this woman is doing great in this venture. God has entrusted her with. And my question this afternoon, Olufunke, I guess you are out there. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay. Let's look at strategic partnerships. In what areas do you think Nigerians, because we have Nigerians, like you said, who are good-spirited, in what areas do you think Nigerians should respond to this project you are having? Because you cannot do it alone. You need volunteers. How do you think Nigerians should respond to this project?
Well, I would say Nigerians are already responding, which is very heartwarming to see.
Okay.
And they're just not responding right now. I would say they have even started responding even before now to others who have been in the field. Like I said to you, we have started doing this in 2021.
Okay.
And we have been collaborating and being in relationship with some other organizations.
Okay.
You know, I got to know about one school in Kwara State called Tomo Red School, that is being run by a Reverend Samuel Ajayi.
Okay.
And, you know, by the time I had the opportunity to speak with the teachers in there, my heart was revived for my country, because these were teachers who, I mean, immediately I said to Baba, I said that I fondly called him Baba. I said, you know what, you don't have staff in this school, you have volunteers, because these are people that are working with children that they're not their children. I said, I have a child. This daughter, at that time, Abigail was still alive. So I said, this is my daughter that I'm taking care of, and I get tired.
Okay.
Right? I get to a point where at times when I put her down and she's still crying, she's still in tears. I've exhausted everything that I need to do. She's on about 16 different medications every day, apart from emergency and rescue medications, and I've done everything, and there's nothing else to be done, and she's still not okay, and she's still crying. So at times I put her down and say, Lord, I don't know what else to do, and I'm just sitting down there, and we're just watching each other. Okay, so I get tired. I say, so, but for other people who these are not their children, some of them don't even have children, and they're doing this. Some of them, like Baba said at that time, some of them will go and start looking for water, to fetch water to bring to school, to take care of children and young people who are doubly incontinent. That means that they're not able to, you know, the way paths, they're not able to, just like my Abigail, she couldn't, of course, she is wherever they are, they will pull, they will weed, they will do everything, and somebody has to clean that. Right? So for teachers who are doing this, and they're going around to look for water for them to do this, for children are not their children. For me, I thought, wow, I got more hope for my country when I heard that. And I've seen some other people as well. There's Agbedare in Ibadan. There's Auntie Jotun in Lagos who is working tirelessly, even though she also has a child with autism, working tirelessly to support other parents and making a change. So we have this Noye who adopted a child and realized that this child there's something wrong here. By the time she went back, they said, okay, God, you can come and drop her and take another one and say, so who the drop her, who will take care of her? So when we sell, I think what we all the is bad news that sell more. And I think that's the challenge we're having with our country. Like, it's only the bad news that we hear. We still have people with hearts in this country, and they're already doing it. So that's why I have hope that we'll still, and we have volunteers in no consult. All this that I'm doing, I mean, I just came in like 3 weeks ago. People have been working, and they're not paid. I don't even have what I can pay anybody with. So people have been working tirelessly to ensure that this message gets out, and this and even the way we got the land that we got, where I know you said we're going to get there, and I hope, so I'll hold on to that. I'll hold back to that time.
I'm coming to that.
This shows, the little things around continues to show that we have people with hearts in this country, and we just need to speak to that. And so I have no doubt that people will rally. I have no doubt that people will, we want call me a dreamer, but I believe so much that we will want to somehow again become our neighbor's keeper, like we used to be. We just need to have that, and you don't need anybody to teach you that. It's there. We just need to speak to it to come out.
Thank you, Olufunke. You called yourself a dreamer. Thank God that you are a dreamer, because dreams are fulfilled when we are awake. And thank God you are awake to your responsibility. That's why the dreams are playing out before your very eyes. But let's now talk about the center to be commissioned, and how did you get the land?
Well, we started searching for the land. We were scouting around the different states in the southwest, like I said, and we got some in some other places and things and all that. I think the first thing we started talking about is, okay, let's look for the land first. And again, when we started seeing the land, I said, actually, we don't have money for the land. we don't have money for because by the time we did the initial plan that we have for Hope Center, we were told that we would need the architect to brought up the plan and said, for what we want to build, we will need a 12.5 acres of land. And so we started looking where we would get that, and everything. So by the time we started getting some offers and saying, I said, okay, actually, we are looking for a community that will buy into this vision, a community that can see the potential of what this can be. That is what we're looking for. And so people gave up on us at that point, that in Nigeria, where will you get land? That you land? You're talking of land. Even our parents are like, you people are not serious. When you're serious, let us know, and all that. And, one thing leading to the other, it was still this. Okay, we finished one of our training on Beyond Suffering, and we shared the dream. And somebody said, why don't you talk to somebody? And talk to somebody became, the person we were talking to became a prince of Ololand. Who happened to be with the KBC of Ololand at the time we were talking to him. And he said, okay, send the proposal. We sent the proposal. After a while, he came back to us. Okay, actually, KBC said he could give you 15 acres of land. And I said, actually, please let him know. Are they aware that we're not asking to pay for the land? And he said, okay, yes, they know. He knows. He said 15. Okay, we thought, okay, let's jubilate and answer prayer. Only for them to come back to us again about how many weeks after to say the cabinet said they have now read your proposal, and it says if indeed what you have on this proposal is what you want to do, he is able to give you 35 acres of land. So we have 35 acres of land donated by the community in Olo near Ogomosho for this center to be built. Yes, we have needed to clear a couple of things on the land and all that and all, but in terms of the land itself, was a gift, was given to us on a gift of deed, and we've done the paperwork and everything to to certify that. So that is how we're moving to the next stage now to do the groundbreaking on the 22nd of April 2025, which is just next Tuesday.
Okay.
where we just want to start it off, flag it off, and let Nigerians know that this is happening, this is coming, that the center will be built is already a guarantee, because I know that it was God ordained, and whatever God says he wants to do, it happens.
Okay.
So who is going to use now that we are going to be waiting for, and we trust that he will bring people around and will ensure that the thing is done.
Okay, thank you very much, Olufunke.
I just want to congratulate you on this wonderful groundbreaking that you're coming up with. I have been taking my time to listen to all that you have said, especially your story, what led to these projects, and how far you have been able to touch life. And also you are touching me too, because I've learned a lot within the shortest period of time that we've communicated with us here. I want to say people will be coming out now to support you. You know, one thing about us is that we don't get to get people to support our dream until
they see it happening.
Yes. And that is just one of the things. And one thing struck me while you were giving us this thing, that do we need to have people who are affected before they start looking after those who are affected? Do you understand what I'm saying? Hello there?
Could you be a bit clearer?
Okay, do we need to have people who are affected to be able to take care of those who are affected?
Oh, absolutely no.
That is the problem. So if we
need, sir, is the heart.
Okay.
The heart to be kind, the heart to be good, the heart to nurture. That is the first thing we need, sir. And everybody has that.
That is what we need to start preaching again, because we don't need to wait for people to be affected before they start taking care of those who are affected. And on that level, I will want you to add that to your project, and I know God will help you. I will also want to be available for that project to see it myself, what you are doing, because you are in my in-laws town.
Okay.
I want to come over there.
Okay, Olufunke, before we go, because time is looking at us somehow, I want to ask you, are you in touch with disability homes?
With disability groups.
Homes. Yes.
Like I said, we have been working with some. We work with some homes in Lagos, in Ibadan,
Okay.
And in Ogun State as well.
Okay.
So we've established a couple of relationships with some that are already doing this.
Okay.
Because I think one of the things we thought initially was the fact that, there are people that are already doing this. Can we support them? So we started establishing relationships from there.
Okay.
So that we're not reinventing the wheel. But even though we're doing this, we continue to see some of the gaps of the things that are new that we want to bring on board. And that is why we're continuing, and that was why, because we thought that there's still a need for what we want to do. Because at times you don't know what you don't know. The privilege we have is the fact that we've been able to go out of the country to take care of our child, of our daughter.
Yes.
And we know that there's not so many people that have that opportunity. So there's some way things are done that could be better, both for the carers, for the parents, and for the child. Right? But because we don't have an existing system that has that already, it becomes more difficult. So effectively, some of the things that we have seen abroad is what we want to bring back home.
Okay.
And we want to contextualize it, because I'm not just talking things about that, not at all.
Okay.
It is just so that we know that there's some things we can do and do in our own way that will still be humanly, that will still be humane, that will still be dignifying for all the children that we want to support. Our own remit stays within 0 to 25 years of age. So at the same time, we're going to be looking at children within that bracket who have one form of disability or the other, especially those with complex medical needs. Those like Abigail, those are the children that we're going to be focusing on in terms of equipment to take care of them, the kind of environment, the kind of facilities. Abigail she had swimming lessons, she had swimming time. How can a child with disability swim? Somebody will tell you that even a child that has no disability is not even near, they don't even know what swimming pool is. But she did that. She went to parties, right? She enjoyed herself. She went to the park. She was a social butterfly. She was colorful. And if you're able to come on the 22nd, you see some of the things that we will showcase about her. I brought some of our work. I brought some of our photos. She loved animals. We were able to establish what she wanted and what she didn't. For example, I personally don't really like dogs, especially the way they both take care of them and everything. I just stay in your lane. I don't like dogs. I don't like cats as such. So I projected that on my daughter, and so wherever we go, I said, no, please don't bring dogs closer to her. She doesn't like dogs. But by the time she was in a particular facility, and then they showed me the photo. They took some photos, and they showed me how she was behaving with dogs. Jesus, I was ashamed of myself. And our sisters were like, you see, mommy, we told you. It's because you don't like it. So Abigail was able to show us what if you saw her face, her demeanor, and you would think she was communicating with this lovely dog. But because me, I don't like dogs, I said, no, your daughter doesn't like dogs. But when they showed me that photo, I had to back. I said, okay. You know, so they will bring all different kind of animals to her, and she will love to do. You think they were communicating? Now that was a time she couldn't talk, but we were able to get some things that she wanted, that she liked. So for every child as well, some of these children even have more abilities than Abigail. So why can we not nurture them and get the things that will make life fitting for them? Why?
Okay.
You know, we can do it in our own way and still, you know, get them dignified like now, whether that is long or short.
Okay.
That doesn't matter now. It becomes, you know, then we were talking the terrain of quality.
All right.
What is quality life?
Wow.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
So that is what we're talking about.
All
And
right.
that is what we want to do.
Thank you so very much, Ma. And I want to say congratulations on the gift of the land. Yeah, I want you to speak to one of our beliefs, especially in African region. You know, we tend to believe that a parent who has our children or child with a disability is cursed. So, is any parent with a disability child cursed? I want you to speak to that. Thank you.
Well, that's part of the things that I've been talking about, and that's why for us, you know, it's about the parents to you know, in the scheme of things, we want to empower the parents. We want to demystify some things. We want to confront some issues, bring it out. Let's talk about them. So that when you know, the Bible talks about, pardon me, but this is all I know. The Bible says that they that know their God will be strong, they will do it. So you cannot come and tell me some things about God because I know my Bible myself. So if you tell me God is saying this, I will show you what God is saying by myself. So you will not need to come and tell me anything that will make me to cower in front of you because I know already. I mean, so we want to empower and open up things to parents. The parents have got the opportunity to speak with today. They were. I asked them at the end. I said, "I hope you feel lighter." They said, "Much more." So I saw some springs in their steps as they were going out because now nobody's going to confront them with some lies anymore, do guilt on their head anymore. Their focus is now on how they want to take this child as a ministry for themselves, as the responsibility that God has given to them, and they're doing it with all their heart. That is what we're talking about. So that nobody's going to come and tell you. People can always talk. You cannot stop people from saying anything. They can say anything. It's you that you're receiving whatever people are saying that has the responsibility to either allow it to affect you or to shake it off. If you see me play with my daughter, you will think twice before you come and tell me that I'm the cause.
Thank you very much.
So, but if I don't know who I am and I don't know what about my child, and I don't know, and even I'm going out with my shoulders hung, the weight on my head in terms of my life is rejected now. I'm not able to like I'm not able to do the things like my mates will do, and all these things are real. I struggled with them myself. Coming from a very vibrant, career and all that, you see your mates and they're flying, they're getting one position or the other, and you are just going around in circles, around hospital, school, and repeat therapy and repeat. School, hospital, repeat. And you're like, is this all about my life? Right? But I'm saying that when you find yourself, when you find an identity for yourself, even where you are, things begin to change.
Yes.
And that is part of the thing that we're talking to parents about.
Yeah, Funke, now, ibi tí ẹ gbé àjọ yín lọ sìn, ibi tí ẹ ti rí ilẹ̀ tí àwọn community ọlọ́ tí wọ́n fún yín ní ilẹ̀ sí, a lè pè bẹ̀ ní local environment. Now kí ni nǹkan tí àjọ yín ṣe láti lè jẹ́ kí àwọn èèyàn mọ̀ nípa nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe, and then àwọn tí wọ́n ní àwọn ọmọ tí wọ́n ní disabilities tẹ́ fi máa take care rí tí wọ́n wà káàkiri, ọ̀nà wo lẹ̀ ń gbà láti create awareness? Ṣé ẹ̀ ń jáde láti máa wá àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ káàkiri ni, àbí báwo lè ṣe ń ṣe, ọ̀rọ̀ lè ṣe máa ṣe? Tó nígbà tẹ́ bá ti ṣe ground breaking níbi tí ẹ fẹ́ máa lò yẹn, báwo làwọn ṣe máa mọ̀ pé wà níbẹ̀? Ṣé ẹ máa lọ sójú ilé káàkiri láti máa wá àwọn ọmọ wọ̀nyí láti kó wọn wá síbẹ̀ ni? Ẹ ṣàlàyé fún wa ní Yorùbá ká tó máa lọ.
Right. So first of all, you will be shocked.
Ẹ bá a sọ ní Yorùbá.
How much?
Ẹ bá a sọ ní Yorùbá. Ẹ bá wa sọ ní Yorùbá. Ẹ lò Fúnkẹ́, ẹ bá a sọ ní Yorùbá.
Yorùbá.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni.
Wípé ó máa yà yín lẹ́nu tà, ó máa yà yín lẹ́nu wípé wọn ò jìnnà tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rò tà. Wọn ò kàn jáde nítorí kò sí àǹfààní fún wọn láti mọ̀ pé kí ni ìtọ́jú tó fẹ́ wà fọmọ mi, kí ni èrò tó fẹ́ wà fọmọ mi, báwo náà ṣe máa wò mí, gbogbo nǹkan tó jẹ́ àṣà àti ni mo ṣe fẹ́ pe stereotype tó ń jẹ́ wàhálà táwọn èèyàn tá a ti gbé tó àlébù tá a ti fi sí ara àwọn èèyàn tó ní àtàwọn tó ní àwọn ẹbí tó ní ọmọ tó ní disability tó ní àkàndá ọmọ tó bí Yorùbá ṣe máa ń pè wọ́n yìí, right? You will be surprised. Ó máa yà yín lẹ́nu pé wọn ò jìnnà tó bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe rò. Yàtọ̀ sí yẹn sà, gbogbo àwọn schools àwọn homes ta ní pé à ń bá sọ̀rọ̀ yìí, púpọ̀ nínú wọn ló ní waiting list. Tí wọn ò rí ibi tí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n rí lẹ́yìn lásán, àníwẹ̀ ni wọn ò dín níbi 10 parents tó jẹ́ pé wọn ò tiẹ̀ tó bá ṣèṣì gbọ́ pé àwọn níbi kan táwọn lè gbé ọmọ wọn sí, irú ìdùnnú tó máa wà lọ́kàn wọn. Ibi táwọn ọmọ wọn lè ní tí wọ́n ti lè ní therapy tí wọ́n ní ìdí nǹkan parí, the kind of care tí wọ́n nílò láti fi gbé ìgbé ayé tó ń jẹ tó ń gbé tí wọ́n bá mọ̀. So àwọn they are already there. And we're not operating from today. Like I said, we have a 5-year plan. Nǹkan tá a fẹ́ ṣe bí ọjọ́ lẹ́yìn ọdún kan, a ní láti kọ́ gbogbo ibi tá a máa lò, a ní láti get gbogbo equipment tá a máa lò, a ní láti fi gbogbo nǹkan sílẹ̀. À ń rò pé bóyá in the next 3 years lágbára Ọlọ́run la máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní operate. But we already have this established relationship already with people who are already doing it. Tó dẹ̀ ní request lójoojúmọ́ pé wọn ò rí bí tọ́pẹ́ gbọ́mọ yìí lọ, wọ́n ní èèyàn kan tó máa ní ìdí nǹkan bí àníyàn kan tó máa ní ìdí nǹkan bí báyìí. So besides that, òun ni gbogbo nǹkan tá à ń ṣe yìí, tá a tẹ̀ ń dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Wise Radio pé fún wa ní opportunity that the platform to talk. So we're looking for other platforms as well. Anywhere tá a bá ti lè sọ̀rọ̀, a máa sọ̀rọ̀. Now ní last week tá a ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ tán yìí, a káàkiri gbogbo ìlú Ọ̀lọ́ pẹ̀lú ìlú àti flyer àti gbogbo nǹkan tá a ṣe nìyẹn all through this week on was it Tuesdays and Wednesday this week. We went from one house to the other just telling them àwọn ìyá gbogbo pé kàkọsí káàkiri gbogbo Ọ̀lọ́ láṣẹ ní last week yìí tàfi jẹ́ kí gbogbo èèyàn mọ̀ pé nǹkan báyìí ń bọ̀ ọ́ níbí báyìí tí wọ́n dẹ̀ ń dáwọ̀ ìyá yẹn dẹ̀ ń gbàdúrà tó a mọ̀ pé nígbò ní àgbègbè yẹn ní àdúgbò yẹn a dẹ̀ ti involve àwọn ọlọ́ba kábíyèsí ọlọ́nà fi involve àwọn ọlọ́ba aṣọ òun pàpamọ́ òun pa gbogbo nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ tó a mọ̀ pé ó máa continue láti máa sàn láti bẹ̀. a dẹ̀ ní restrict tó ṣe pé a máa dá dúró sí àwọn Ọ̀yọ́ nìkan, gbogbo àwọn ọmọ káàkiri ó máa ní structure, ó máa ní ibùkọ́ tá a máa fi máa gbà wọ́n, ó máa ní criteria tá a máa ní wọn ní mọ nǹkan fẹ́ pé criteria tá ó máa ní criteria tá a máa fi gbà wọ́n nǹkan gbogbo catchment area wa ó máa wà ń bẹ̀ tó gbogbo yẹn náà la máa fi bẹ̀ all the fine details that will come into the project.
Thank you so much.
By the time we start.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Olufunke Adeloye, Chief Responsibility Officer, Consult the Disabilities Outreach. Thank you for this time out with West Radio 89.3 FM. We are glad that we spoke with you this afternoon, and we wish you the best on the groundbreaking event coming up next week. We hope that we pray that God will give you clement weather so that dignitaries that will come and grace the occasion and buy into the vision that you have and remain blessed. I thank Afolabi Afolami for being here with me.
Thank you very much
and
for having me on board.
Dayo Ogunshake and my chief producer, Chief Yomi Davis. Thank you for coming on this platform this afternoon.
Thank you.
Okay. So we see more of you, Olufunke Adeloye. Remain blessed.
God bless you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio. .3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
Old man standing at the tip of the pyramid, hauling stones at anyone who's climbing, but it's too late. Oh, the whole town's already infested with the virus, the rupture. At the bottom will bring us all down. Let us be grateful ones. Let there be room for all. The whole is moving on. What are we waiting for? Young man sitting at the base of the pyramid, hauling hate speech at anyone who's watching, but it's too late. Oh, he burned all his bridges, it's funny, he parties the rupture. In our hearts it will bring us all down. Let us be grateful ones. Let there be room for all. The whole is moving on. What are we waiting for?
just another radio station. Wells Radio 89.3 FM. Broadcasting from Ibadan or your state brings you wholesome programs for you and your family.
The time is 4 p.m. from Wells Radio 89.3 FM, your preferred wholesome radio.
gẹ́gẹ́ láago mẹ́rin ìrọ̀lẹ́ lù láti ìkànnì kànga agbọ́nmágbẹ̀ 89.3 FM.
Tired of listening to the same old content? Tune in to Wells Radio 89.3 FM, the only radio other radio stations listen to.
Okay, listen to me. The human world is a mess. Life under the sea is better than anything they got going on up there. The seaweed is always greener in somebody else's lake. You dream about going up there, but that is a big mistake. Just look at the world around you, right here on the ocean floor. Such wonderful things surround you. What more is you looking for? Under the sea, under the sea. Darling, it's better, don't worry, it's wetter. Take it from me. Up on the shore they work all day, out in the sun they slave away, while we devoting full time to floating under the sea. Down here all the fish is happy, as off through the waves they roll. The fish on the land ain't happy, they sad cause they in the bowl. But fish in the bowl is lucky, they in for a worse of fate. One day when the boss get hungry, guess who gon' be on the plate? Oh no! Under the sea, under the sea. Nobody beat us, fry us and eat us in fricassee. We what the land folks love to cook. Under the sea, we off the hook. We got no troubles, life is the bubbles. Under the sea, hey, under the sea. Yes, child, it's like the sweet here. We got the beat here naturally. Even the sturgeon and the ray, they get the urge and start to play. We got the spirit, you got to hear it under the sea. Watch this.
Yeah, welcome to your favorite cinematic experience, Cinema Reviews on Wells Radio 9.3 FM, your preferred awesome radio and your number one family radio in the city of Ibadan. My name is Lizette Femolade Sport Baby, and today, the movie we are reviewing is one of my fave. I don't think I've like a favorite movie in a long time like this. I'm quite excited about this one. So don't touch that dial. Don't go anywhere. And today I'm not doing it alone. It's looking like Angela has become like a fave now. She's literally like she loves scenarios. And Angela is here in the studio again. Angela, how are you doing this afternoon?
I'm doing well, and you?
I'm doing okay too. Okay, so before we go right into the movie we're reviewing today, let's talk about what's going on in the world of movies. First of all, congratulations to Yaboju's daughter Priscilla. Literally shut down. I don't want to say shut down Lagos. I want to say shut down Nigeria, because everybody, or let me say almost everybody in Nigeria, knew that there was a wedding that was happening. Like, do you understand? Like, a big congratulations to Yaboju. It's literally not easy for you to be in the limelight, your daughter in the limelight, and she does not misbehave. I mean, it's a big deal for her. And basically, we saw a lot of, our actors, veteran actors, actresses yesterday showing off with the old Owambe as Shoebi. It was a very beautiful occasion. Another congratulations again to Yabo. Now Yabo Ojo they hot like this. Now she they hot. Under congratulations to Yabo Ojo. You know, a movie Lebeke Olododo is doing quite well. Almost 200 million views actually. Doing quite well in the cinemas for someone that took a long break. When I mean a long break, you know, and then coming back and doing so well in the cinemas is a big deal for her. Another congratulations to Yabo Ojo. And now, what else is happening? Radio Voice is still in the cinema. I cannot wait to even review this one because I already saw Lagos. Radio Voice. Yes, I already saw Radio Voice, and it's a very interesting movie. I can't wait to review it. Also, Family Bruha is in the cinemas, and I don't know what to say about this one. No, me can't lie. I don't know what to say about this one. I saw it too, and I actually cannot wait to review it. Also, I have a lot to say concerning this movie. But it's in the cinemas. Go and watch it and have a blast. Oh, and Betty, the premiere was, and it was a very beautiful occasion. I mean, I feel like premieres are very important to movies, apart from the PR. I feel like mostly it's for PR, but you know, the other side, the entertainment side, they all making you want to watch the movie. It was a very, very beautiful occasion, and I actually think I want to watch this Owambete. It's something that I actually want to watch. Shola Shibowale, I saw one scene and she was screaming alongside. I was like, yes, that is the Shola Shibowale that I know. So yes, I'm going to watch that movie. Yes, so it's already in the cinemas actually, and you can go and have a blast. Now, before we go right into the movie that we are going to review today, you know how we do it. Let's go on a quick music break, and when we are back, we'll go right into it.
When the sharpest words wanna cut me down, I'm gonna send the blood, gonna drown them out. I am brave, I am bruised, I am who I'm meant to be. This is me. Look out, 'cause here I come, and I'm marching on to the beat I drum. I'm not scared to be seen. I make no apologies. This is me.
who carry my Santa, carry my Matako, I am a tanga. When I enter, Yoshima go mental. If she no say, now you know better. Now you know better. When I show up, there's no more debates. Make una scatter, no paraboles. Get to the streets, holding it down. The buy all the commas, go for the crown. Man like me, you know fit touch. Should be sure, best give up. You know go one day, unfortunately. No the para, just swallow your haze. Because you like me, you know say I bad as content. Nobody like me, steady chasing the bar. Bad as content. You know I got this, and I'm bad like that. Bad as content. Impulse on the beach, but when you're bad, you're bad. Bad as content. Bad as content. Bad as content. Enjoy Yahoo, Bitolu Bente. Bad as content. Bad as content. When the big ass planted. Bad as content. Up all in the streets, I be bad as content. Bad as content. No fear, alright. Up on this one. Red flag chief, now my other name. Shall remember, I no go carry the blame. Anybody drop, cast a final. Any evil arrow, cast a binder. Bad as content. Bad as content. From a man is really bad, no space, but I cannot complain. It on a king, no be president. Like me, I be heaven says. You dey try keep up, you know get sense. Like me, you know say bad. Bad as content. Nobody like me, steady chasing the bar. Bad as content. You know I got this, and I'm bad like that. Bad as content. Boss on the beat, when you're bad, you're bad.
Okay, welcome back. You still listening to Cinema Reviews on Wells Radio 89.3 FM. And of course, you just listened to that song. That song is literally like a cue to what we want to talk about today. That was Badass Fountain by Ken Kato. Does it ring any bell? Hello? Well, the movie we're reviewing today is A Lagos Love Story, and I'm literally smiling because this is one of my favorite movies. I had an expectation for that movie, and they busted my head. I was flabbergasted. It's 9 minutes into the movie. I was doing this, you know this celebratory dance you do when you're enjoying something. I'll pause it. I'll go and dance like. Everybody was literally laughing like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I'm enjoying this movie too much. Let me ask you, Angela, if you want to rate the movie, it's going to be what over 10?
If I want to rate the movie, I'll rate it maybe 6.5 over 10.
6.5. Angela is always nice with movie rating. So what's going on? Why are you rating it 6.5?
Well, I feel like the main attraction of the movie is romance, and I don't know. I'm not feeling the romance. I don't know. I feel like the female lead, Jemima, she did not really give me the romance that I was looking for.
I actually feel like it was supposed to be kind of cheesy, and it was kind of cheesy. Like, it was not supposed to give like so much romance. Okay, yes, it's a romantic comedy, yeah. But like there were different aspects of the movie, the entertainment side that they wanted to portray, the whole they were able to even portray that Lagos social climbing stuff also, and every other. I mean, the financial aspect of Promise Quest. Yes, that's what Jemima played. Do you understand? I feel like they were able to do that. I'm going to rate the movie 8 over 10. Honestly, I want to rate it 7.5. But I really enjoyed the movie, and I cannot pretend. I'm going to rate it 8 over 10, which is the highest right now. Let's give a round of applause for that. Well, basically, A Lagos Love Story is a movie produced by Nas Unozo and has topped the Netflix film chart in Nigeria. The film is a romantic comedy about a lady who is hired to play a huge festival but finds herself falling for the brash Afrobeat star. And I really enjoyed it. I cannot stop saying that. Let's talk about the cast. We have Jemima Osunde, who played Promise Quest. We have Susan Pajok, who played Favor Quest. We also have Mike Folari, who played King Kato. Like, I'm a big fan of King Kato. Do you understand? Like, he delivered that role. I used to say this thing that Mike Folari is who he thinks he is. Like, don't play with him. Did you see the demeanor? Did you see the steez? Did you see the composure? Oh my God, let's move forward. We also have Uche Montana, who literally killed the role. Like, honestly,
I was not even expecting that at all. The twist.
She killed the role.
She
When
killed
she
the
was
role.
supposed to act very humble, she killed it. When she was supposed to
killed
act
it.
like, who are you?
Wicked.
Wicked person, she killed it. Also, V was in that movie. And I did not like the character V played. The character made V to look like how V was in Big Brother. Is it me?
I feel like that's who she is. She played her true character.
I said that to someone recently, and the person was like, no, V is not like that. Honestly, I don't actually think that she's like that, but I feel like a part of her, she has that, huge part of her that if she want to be mean, there's nothing you can see. She played it so natural. I was so pained, like, no, I don't want to see V like this. Do you understand? Like, if you watch that movie, she played this very good character.
Yes.
I think I want to see her more in that character than because this Lagos Love Story, she played out the character that she does on Twitter. V on Twitter is a no-go area.
Yeah,
you come
very,
for her,
very saucy.
she would if you go low, she goes lower. She's going to deal with you, and that's literally what she played. Also, we have who else do we have in that movie? Cyril too. That was my most annoying character. I saw a video and an interview actually, and he was actually saying that every time he had to play his character, he was always very happy. Like, imagine, he was always very happy that yay, he's playing this character. This was his favorite character that he loved playing it. I was pissed. I wanted to enter inside that what's it called, and enter my phone and tell him, don't do this, don't do that. Like, he was annoying me.
He actually portrayed the real the true manager. How a true manager is going
Is
to be.
that how true managers behave?
Yes, that's how they are. They are 10%. They don't take it as, they don't joke with it. True managers, they don't joke with their team. So they do anything they can to just push their artists to perform.
Also,
well.
we have IK Osado, and IK plays the role very well. It was too, that rich men vibe, rich men calm vibe that they do, and he just said something and he played it. So I felt like it was too natural for IK actually. Although it made me to see, those record labels owner in another way entirely. I was like, wait, is that how they do? Now, so they do for you. Also, we have Linda Ejafan. Linda was so wicked in that movie. Like, why are you so wicked?
I don't think I've seen Linda play that kind of role before, and she really did well. I'm like, I hated her at the point. I was like, please, madam, calm down, calm down.
She did not even smile.
Take a chill pill. She was just so mean. Every little thing like this. I'm like, madam, calm down. I was even saying it. I didn't even know when I said it out loud. My mom was like, what happened? I said, I'm watching this movie and Linda is not even doing well at all.
Also, we have the girl that played the Favor Chorus, Promised younger sister. That's Susan Pajok. I really like Susan Pajok. I've always liked her. And she killed the role. She played that a little bit spoiled sister. No, I won't call it entitled because she was not that entitled. I felt like Promise was even more entitled than she is. But she played that, spoiled little sister that was very creative. They try to kill that role. And then who do we have again? Who do we have? The father, yes. I've forgotten the father's name actually. But of course, the man is a veteran actor. You understand? He killed the role very, very well. Who else do we have? Oh, Chimeze. Chimeze was very, very funny. Chimeze part was giving. This adage that if a guy likes a girl and does not ask the girl out, you serve drink in the girl's wedding. That was what he was giving me. I was like, Chimeze, talk now. He could not say anything. It was so hilarious. I mean, it was very hilarious. But and he has a very funny face. When he makes that face, like, I was always laughing. I was like, what? Let me just laugh at it. I really enjoyed the movie. So I want to talk about first Jemima. Yeah. No. Let's talk about the star of the movie, King Kato. Word on the street is he portrayed a Nigerian artist. And of course, you know who that is. That is what?
Ashake.
Like he killed it. Like no, I'm very sure Ashake was watching that movie and
like,
was smiling.
This
like,
is me.
Do you understand?
When he first appeared, the first scene he appeared, I was like, is this Ashake? And then I saw Mike Folarin. I'm like, he just killed his role. The dreads he had on, the way he walked, even his dressing, like he just killed. The only thing I was missing, I guess, was the good tips, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Yes, even the walk was very spot on. Yeah, the walk was spot on. The dress sense, the big trousers, it was spot on. It was spot on. Yes. Let's talk about him. Like, I mean, Mike Folarin. If you want to rate him in that movie over 10, what would you rate him as?
Honestly, I think I will give him a 9 because it killed the role.
Let me clap for you. You deserve a clap for that. Because I thought you were going to rate him low because of the...
No. He did well. He did well, yes. He interpreted the script very, very well.
I know he has like this new body build. I'm sure it's for another movie entirely because I've been seeing...
He has been going to I've been seeing him on Instagram. He has been going to gym.
Yeah, but I think he's doing that for a movie.
Yeah.
He has been doing this. They were showing like a beat on with Toby Bakri. I think they wanted like a movie to be brought out or something. I don't know because they've been looking so much alike lately. Do you understand? So like, I would not be surprised if at the end of the day it's for a movie. But like the body build they had on was so perfect for this role. Yeah. Also, let's talk about Jemima Osinde, who played. Wait, before we talk about that, they're like I know there are like three songs that were played in that movie. And which one is your favorite? There's Badass Fontaine, there's Settle Down, the one that he sang like he was inspired when he fell in love with Jemima. Yeah. And I can't remember the first one. The first one was the one that I think he performed at Ike's birthday. Yeah, that one. So which of the three is your fave?
It's very hard to pick because the songs he sang in that movie, they are just, I don't know, I was just feeling it. I was like, you see that the Vedi had, like maybe it was one that sang this song, and I was like, the songs they are just so good.
I think it's very beautiful. Like, you know, as a creative, you are very versatile. You're not just an actor. You can sit down and, you know, pluck in and be like, I want to sing this. I mean, I'll not be surprised if it's not the one that wrote the lines, but he performed it. There are many artists that don't actually write their songs and they perform the songs, but it was very beautiful to see. So which one is your fave? You cannot decide, right?
I guess I'll go for the second one. The one is